Hi, and welcome to Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. A little bit of a different video this time, mainly because I kind of want to talk a little bit more in depth about this game. Some of the bits that I like, as well as some of the bits that kind of grate on me a little. And that's kind of what this game is that there is a lot of good here, but at the same time, there are parts that kind of make you want to just throw off the headset in frustration. So, without further ado, let's jump in and let's talk about that. Alright, let's kick off first with the big one, the story. So the story in Galaxy's Edge is really interesting. There's a lot of big characters showing up, and showing a bit here that's a little bit later in the game, where we've got C-3PO being sending you on a quest. But even before the big characters come in, you've got a lot to really like. The whole story is that you're on this planet and you're kind of digging around trying to help out, make some money. You've crash landed here, your usual video game affair, but it does it in a really nice way. You've got a wrist module that kind of directs you to the next part, and yeah, it moves through. When I hit the story parts, I'm really excited and really enjoy it. But you're gonna get this a lot in this one. The but is that hitting those story points takes a long time. So you might start off going like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's get this, let's move on, let's go on to the next part, let's get the next part of the story. And early on, the tutorial makes you think that it's going to be like that. You're going to have this constant sort of going through, but actually that isn't what happens, and the story takes a long time to get through. I'm probably a few hours into the game now, and I'm still like, oh, what happened? Because there's so much extra gameplay in between, and we'll come on to that in a moment, that I kind of have forgotten what's going on. And then I'm like, oh no, this is really good, I want to get on to the next part. And then it, again, drags on, and it takes a long time to get there. And I think for VR games, that's actually a really bad thing to do. Playing VR, you kind of want to jump in and out. And so you want the story to be able to move at quite a decent pace. Fortunately, we don't see that here. Okay, next, let's talk about the puzzles and the variety of enemies that appear in this game. The number of puzzles are incredible, and what you're seeing here on screen right now is one of the types of things that pops up a lot. They're these specialized storage boxes that give you weapons and ammo, and with the weapons in here, they allow you to fight enemies in a slightly different way with these droids. Absolutely incredible. And the puzzles always change, so if you die and you're coming back here, it's not going to be the same. It might be similar, but actually it will be a completely different set of puzzles. The ones that you're seeing on screen at the moment were all taken from one section of the game, which is, shows just the kind of variety that you can see in this. I like that it changes it up. It means that it's something exciting to get to. Likewise, the variety of enemies is also interesting. You've got those that shoot projectiles, such as small little bugs that do move around, as well as the normal enemies who are trying to shoot you. The problem, the but, is unfortunately this gets very repetitive. With regards to the enemies, yes, there's a strong variety, but sometimes they'll just appear randomly. You'll just be moving through and all of a sudden enemies will start spawning in different areas, and there are points where I've been surrounded because I've moved forwards too fast. This can lead to me taking my time to move forwards, and at the same time, if you die, you've then got to go all the way back to a checkpoint. The checkpoints aren't, very regular. Usually they're at a point when you come into a level, and so you've got to go through and potentially, go through these multiple ambushes over and over again. Additionally, weapon variety is very limited. It's pretty much just different variations on a gun. Now, it's great that you've got things such as the thermal detonators and the droids. But the actual guns, there's no real difference to them. They don't feel different. They don't have slightly, they do have slightly different ways of working, but fundamentally they're just still a gun. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more variety here. Something similar to Jedi Knight, where you have rocket launchers or, things that shoot off balls that have to be charged up first. Something along those lines. Instead of what we've got is just different types of pistols, and that's a shame because there's a lot of potential here for that. Alright, finally. Notice I'm keeping this nice and short for you. The final bit that I really like, and there is no but for this one, is the movement. you get the ability to move around with a jetpack. Comes a little bit later in the game, after a couple of tutorials, but it's really nice. It allows you to get verticality, which I've found in a lot of VR games can be a little bit hit and miss. This does it in a really nice way, allowing you to get extra height and move around the levels and really kind of look at it. That's because actually the environments here are really nice. That you want to look around them, you want to have a look. And there are actually little droids hidden around that you can try and find. As long as getting a bit of height to try and work out your path towards them is really, really helpful. And there is no bug for this one, because I think that is great. There is nothing downside to that part of it. And there we are. That, my initial thoughts on Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Look, I would say that this is very much a mixed bag. If you've not already played Vader Immortal, I would honestly say buy that. All three of those games are better than this game. However, if you've played those and you want a bit more Star Wars, this is worth playing through. Just be prepared to know that you might find the gameplay a bit repetitive. So don't think you're going to just storm through this one like you may have done with Vader Immortal. You know, it's like a 20-minute game and then you've got the dojo afterwards. This is more of an adventure type game, and with that, you know, the restrictions of the Quest unfortunately mean that it doesn't have what you might expect from PC VR. But other than that, yeah, that's all I've got for you. So thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, goodbye.